The objective today is to create and modify spreadsheet formulas and functions. So it's a really simple and short video-wise lesson showing you the difference between formulas and functions and then asking you to creatively create a spreadsheet yourself. So this is just one of those one-day lessons where I'm going to give you the spreadsheet skills. I hope you use them in the future. I mean, it's great for keeping yourself organized financially, but you won't necessarily be creating spreadsheets daily in this class. It's just one of those check marks you want to put next to the box of like, do you know what spreadsheets are on a computer in a computer class? So in terms of direct instruction, I have 3 things to do for you. So the first thing is the difference between the two F's that I had mentioned already. Then I'm going to demonstrate and then you create. So what is a formula? This is an expression that calculates the value of a cell. So for example, equal sign A2 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4 is a formula that adds up the values in cells A2 through A4. Why is A2 there twice? There's an example of when copying and pasting goes wrong. Well, anyways, a function is a predefined formula already available in Excel. Functions perform specific calculations in a particular order based on the specified values, called arguments or parameters. So your thing right here is what's the difference? And let me point this out. Basically, if you added A2 plus A3 plus A4, what you do is ask the computer to create a sum of these values. So the difference between a formula and a function is a function has this fancy name. A formula is really adaptable to what you want. So maybe you have A plus A2 plus A3 divided by 2 or specify that yourself. So formulas, you get to be creative and you can do it like on the fly and really quickly. A function is you can go somewhere and click this predefined formula. And that's the only real difference between a formula and a function. So here's your tasks. First, let's come up with a spreadsheet of your wants and needs. And ultimately, our goal here is to help you keep track of your finances. I learned how to use spreadsheets in college, and then when I got a decent paying job, it really helped me. In the early years, most of you guys are really young, a spreadsheet might not be necessary. You're just not making that much money and paying bills and having goals quite yet where a spreadsheet would come in handy. But let's try to envision the future here where you're going to have to balance a lot more things. So this list of wants and needs you'll post in a canvas. So at this point I'm going to transfer over to the spreadsheets. Here we are. So I'm using a template already to create my own version, just like I want you to use my version as a template to create your own version. So first thing I do, I like everything nice and big, so I'm going to highlight all these cells and make it, let's say, 16 font. Then I need to space these out. So I'm showing you this, that way you know it's possible, that you can click these little lines. So over here you have 2 big categories, projected monthly income and actual monthly income. In class, I'm going to hand you little sheets of paper of what your income is based on a particular job. Or if you want to be really creative here, just look at your dream job on maybe like Indeed.com and figure out the monthly salary from that dream job, and then you can work from there. So to start with, go right here, monthly income. I'm going to go with $5,000. And the actual monthly income is after taxes. And you might have deductions too in terms of insurance payments, but we should put that inside the overall spreadsheet. So for actual income, let me just do this. Let me pretend like I don't claim any dependents, and they're going to take roughly $1,000 out of my paycheck every month for taxes. And then at the end of the year, depending on the tax structure, I can either get money back or have to pay some. All right, so I want a mortgage. I want to own my own home. You should know your cell phone bill, or maybe you want to ask your parents that. You'll have electricity. You should have water to your house, gas for heating. And you know what? To make this simpler, let me just have an area called utilities. That includes all of that. Alright, so for me, these are my needs. I can't get by without these. Now I'm going to start on my wants list. Now I do want a nice car, and if that means making a payment, that's fine. So there's a car payment. And of course the insurance payment on that. This is in my wants category. I want you guys to know I spent the first 5 years of my adult life riding a bike around. I rode a bike to every class in college, and I rode a bike for like the first 2 or so years of working construction. So for a mortgage, let me go with $1,000 a month. I'm trying to pretend I'm single here, so for a cell phone, let's say $100. Obviously, I'm trying to pretend I'm single here because for games I have $60 a month. That is not how I'm living right now. And for utilities, I should put something like, no, 400's too much. I want to put an average cost, not like my highest utility bill. So let me go with 190. If I wanted to use a function, a built-in function, I can go over here to this little summation sign, click it, and that worked nicely. It highlighted everything for me perfectly. I just push enter. So based on this, my needs column, underline, control U to underline, my needs column has a total of $14.90 a month. And let me show you how to do the formula part. So the formula, I can just push the equal sign, take my cursor, highlight all of the things I want added, push enter. Now there was a problem because there's this dot if I subtract and push the plus sign. That's nice, but it's not adding every column. Let's try this again. All right, here we go. So equals plus. There we go. So same thing, just done a different way. Which way looks, smarter or maybe faster? I like this built-in function. But if I'm sitting here maybe experimenting with things I can deduct in my wants column, what if I got rid of Netflix? Netflix is not necessary. Maybe I could borrow someone's account. Just kidding, I'm not suggesting you do that, but there we go. That's the new amount if I had deducted Netflix. And then if I control Z to undo, I can't go back, it looks like, so let me just hard code that in. There we go. So back to 883. So now over here I can create a total column. Total column equals this number plus this number. So I'm looking at $23.73 at the end of the month. This is total in expenses. Oh, let me give myself some space here. And right here, what if I put everything else in savings? So I can type savings, go here, equals, I would take this number minus this number. And voila, that's how much I have in the savings. A really simple spreadsheet for you to help balance the expenses you have in your life. So to show me that you can do these formulas and functions, we're going to go ahead and save file, save as. You could put it on the desktop, that way it's easy to delete after you submit it to me. Where are we at here? This PC, I'm going to click desktop. My saving plan, save it. And once you're on Canvas here, you're going to hit reply like you normally do. You're going to click this little button. Here it is down here, attach, choose file, choose it from your desktop. Let me click desktop. What did I call it? Saving plan right there. And there it is. And then you post reply and you are all done. So let's also add a quick reflection to today's lesson. What type of thing did we do today? Did we do something that connects to being knowledgeable or principled or caring or whatever? And in terms of your DOL, I'm just looking for that formula and that function. One of each.